Very good morning, dear students. In previous lecture we saw first type of the stereoisomerism, that is geometrical isomerism. In this lecture we are going to start second type of the stereoisomerism, that is optical isomerism. We start our topic with definition of optical isomerism. What is meant by the optical isomerism? The compounds which having same molecular formula or empirical formula, same structural formula, but shows different optical activities. Those compounds which having same structural formula, molecular formula is also same, but shows different optical activities. Such type of the compounds are called as the optical isomers, and the phenomenon is called as the optical isomerism. The question is that what is meant by the optical activity? The optical isomers shows different optical activity, but the question is what is meant by the optical activities? The optical activities means the ability of the compounds to rotate plane of polarized light. Optical activity means the ability of the compound to rotate plane of polarized light. What is meant by the polarized light? When we passing normal light through a solution, when we passing a light through a solution, then the normal light made waves of vibrating in all directions, but when such type of the normal light made waves of vibrating in only one direction, then this light is called as the polarized light, or also known as the monochromatic light. And when we passing the monochromatic light or polarized light through a solution of optical isomers, then the optical isomers rotate the plane of polarized light, and these optical isomers rotate the plane of polarized light in two different directions, left direction and right direction, or anti-clockwise direction and clockwise direction. And on the basis of the directions, the optical isomers are broadly classified into the two different categories: dextrorotatory optical isomers and levorotatory optical isomers. The optical activity of the compounds, can be measured with the help of an instrument known as the polarimeter. Polarimeter is an instrument, and with the help of this instrument we can easily measure optical activity of the compound or isomers. If we see the simple example of the optical isomer, glyceraldehyde, it is also known as the simplest sugar. It consists of the 3 carbon atoms. The question is that why optical isomers or compounds rotate the plane of polarized light or monochromatic light. Those compounds which having asymmetrical carbon atoms, they having ability to rotate the plane of polarized light. Asymmetrical carbon atoms mean asymmetrical carbon atom is the carbon atom which is bounded with four different functional group or atoms. Asymmetric carbon atom means the carbon atom which is bounded with four different functional groups or atoms, and due to the presence of the asymmetric carbon atoms, the glyceraldehyde rotate the plane of polarized light in two different directions. When glyceraldehyde rotate the plane of a polarized light in clockwise direction or right-handedly, then it is called as the dextrorotatory glyceraldehyde. Dextrorotatory glyceraldehyde, and the dextrorotatory glyceraldehyde or the dextrorotation of the compound can be simply represented by capital D or plus sign. When glyceraldehyde rotate the plane of polarized light in anti-clockwise direction or left-handedly, then it is known as the levorotatory glyceraldehyde, and the lever rotation of the compound is simply represented by capital L or minus sign. That means there are two different types of the optical isomers: dextrorotatory optical isomers and levorotatory optical isomers. Dextrorotatory optical isomers can rotate plane of polarized light in clockwise direction or right-handedly, while the levorotatory optical isomers rotate the plane of polarized light anti-clockwise or left-handedly. The another example of the optical isomer is the alanine, and it is a amino acid. This is the D-alanine or dextrorotatory alanine. This alanine rotates the plane of polarized light clockwise or right-handedly, and this is the L-alanine or minus alanine or levorotatory alanine, and this type of the alanine shows anti-clockwise rotation or left-handedly rotation of the plane polarized light when passing through it. This is the asymmetric carbon atom, and this asymmetric carbon atom undergoes the free rotation. This asymmetric carbon atom undergoes the free rotation, but the direction of the rotation is anti-clockwise or left-handedly. Similarly, this asymmetric carbon atom also shows free rotation, and the direction of the free rotation is right-handedly or clockwise. Same concept is seen here. This asymmetric carbon atom rotate anti-clockwise or left-handedly, and this asymmetric carbon atom rotate plane of polarized light clockwise or right-handedly. Dear friends, after knowing what is meant by the optical isomers and the examples of the optical isomers are not superimposable on each other. The optical isomers are not superimposable on each other. What is meant by the superimposable? For example, the gloves of the right hand is not fitted to the left hand, if we take a pair of the hand gloves, and if we take the right-handed gloves and it kept on the left hand, then there is a no fitting, and this type of the mechanism is called as the superimposable. And similarly, see here, if we take this lever rotatory compound, and if we kept it on D-glyceraldehyde, then there is a no fitting, because the hydrogen group is on right side and OH group is on left side. Here the hydrogen group is on left side and OH group is on right side. That means there is a no fitting of the functional group, and due to this, these two optical isomers are not superimposable on each other. The if we see the properties of the optical isomers, the optical isomers having same structural formula but shows different optical activities, or they are differ in their three-dimensional arrangement of atoms in the space. That means configuration, same structural formula but shows different configurations. Then the second property is two optical isomers are mirror image of each other. See here, this is D-glyceraldehyde and this is L-glyceraldehyde, and here there is a mirror, and if we see both isomers, both isomers are mirror images of each other. Both isomers are mirror images of each other. Consider this hand as a D-glyceraldehyde and this hand as a L-glyceraldehyde, and when we kept these two hands in front of each other, then both hands are mirror images of each other. Then the compounds are optically active. That means these optical isomers, dextrorotatory and levorotatory isomers, they are optically active. That means they are having ability to rotate the plane of polarized light. These are the some sort of the properties of the optical isomers. What are the importance of optical isomers in biology or life sciences? These trivial differences in the dextrorotatory and levorotatory isomers are very critical to the body and its cell. When we take the diet, through the diet, both types of the isomers, dextrorotatory and levorotatory, they enters into our body, and through the physiology mechanism of our body, these isomers reaches at cellular level. But cell cannot take both type of the isomers. Firstly, cell recognizes isomers, whether it is dextrorotatory or levorotatory, and depending on the necessity of the cell receives only one isomer, whether dextrorotatory or levorotatory. For example, the yeast can ferment only D-glucose to produce the alcohol, not L-glucose. That means when we put both type of the glucose, D-glucose and L-glucose, for the fermentation with the help of the yeast, then yeast reacts only with D-glucose, and produces alcohol is cannot be react with the L-glucose, and there is no production of the alcohol. Or if we see the another example, the human body uses only L type of the amino acids to produce the proteins, not D type of the amino acids. That means the dextrorotatory and levorotatory isomers are very critical to the body and its cell. The number of asymmetric carbon atoms in the compound increases, the number of optical isomers also increases. That means the one compound shows different numbers, or the number of isomers is varies, and it mainly depends upon the number of asymmetric carbon atoms present in the compound. Here only one asymmetric carbon atom is present, so that the glyceraldehyde or alanine shows only one pair of the optical isomer. If we take the another examples, for example, the pentose sugar or hexose sugar, they having more number of asymmetric carbon atoms, and due to the presence of the more number of asymmetric carbon atoms, they produces more number of isomers. That means the number of isomers are mainly depends upon the number of asymmetric carbon atoms. The several molecules, they having asymmetric carbon atoms in their structures, but they are optically inactive. They does not show optical activities. Why? Because of their symmetry. Here this compound shows asymmetrical symmetry. There are several compounds which having asymmetric carbon atoms, but they show symmetrical symmetry. For example, mesotartaric acid. See here, this is the structure of the metatartaric acid, and this is the plane of metatartaric acid. And if we see the both sides of the metatartaric acid to the plane, then both sides are identical to each other. That means here symmetrical symmetry is seen, and due to the symmetrical symmetry, this compound does not show optical activity. This is all regards to the optical isomers. In previous lecture we saw geometrical isomerism. In this lecture we studied optical isomers. These are the two important types of the stereoisomers in carbohydrates. In next lecture we will going to study stereochemical properties of the carbohydrates. Thank you very much.